It's Tuesday. It is 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. That means it's time for Handelabra Live. Welcome once again to our weekly uh, digital tabletop stream. I'm John, aka Migrant P, lead developer at Handelabra Games, and yeah, we're gonna play some more Spirit Island a little differently today. So, Handelabra Games believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. Anyone working against those goals is not welcome and will not be tolerated. So be excellent to one another. Say hello in the chat, ask some questions, and join in. So, in case you missed it, the second wave of Nature Incarnate content dropped last week with a new spirit, Wandering Voice Keen's Delirium, and 3 aspects. So check that out. And of course, we're on our way with some bug fixes and more content coming up. But this week, I want to do something a little different on the stream, as we've had a lot of new players coming into Spirit Island over the holidays, and some people wondering, how do you even get started? How do you play the game? So rather than playing more advanced content, I'm going to dial it back to the basics. I definitely recommend playing the tutorial if you haven't and you want to learn how to play, but I'm going to play the 4 low complexity spirits, and we'll see how much further we get. I'll play a few different games. I'll play at least those 4, and we'll see if we have time to play some more, maybe from Horizons of Spirit Island, a good option for jumping in. And all right, so let's do that. Just to get, and I'll sort of over-explain a little bit. Hello there, Kokimote. So I'm going to change the option here to go back to beginner level. Check out the option screen if you haven't. There's lots of different visual options. You can choose a playmat. I'm going to go with the wooden background here. You can choose your complexity or your experience level. Are you beginner, intermediate, expert? I'm going to start off as beginner because that's going to turn on power progression, and it's going to we're going to use power progression for these games as well. So we're going to go 1 board, low complexity, and we started with that, but I'm going to grab Vital Strength of the Earth as the first one. We're going to turn off Aspect. Yeah, when you get all the expansion packs, there's a lot going on. And if you want to turn off power progression, you can just right-click on the spirit or double tap on mobile and toggle it right here. But I'll show you at the end of the game, when you win on beginner, it's going to prompt you to move up, and that's going to turn off power progression as well. So that's the other way to do that. So I'm just going to turn off all of the other expansions. We're just going to play core game. We are going to have a blight card. So this is difficulty 0, no adversary, and we're just going to hit go. Hello, Space Hawk. Hello in the chat. So we're just going to play a basic game, some basic games, talk about basic strategy, and feel free to pipe up if you have any opinions or thoughts. So invaders always start off with the initial explorer. They went into the mountains. That's pretty good for us because we already have a sacred site there, and our special rule as Earth gives us defend 3 there. So even if they build their town there, it's going to be defended. And I can actually go ahead and try to set up a sacred site here, and that's going to be defended as well. And so my growth options, I've got Reclaim, add a presence at range 2. Usually you're going to use this later, but there are times that I have used that on the first turn. Gain a power card, add a presence at range 0, add a presence range 1, and gain 2 energy. So I want to get in here for next turn, right? So next turn they're gonna build this turn, and then they're gonna ravage. So I can always use this Spirit Foresight. You can click on it, you can hold tab, you can see what they're gonna do. So if you hover over the land, I can see they're gonna build a town there. So next turn they're gonna have a town and explorer. So I want to be able to defend that. So let's get in there. Actually, I don't necessarily have to be in there. I could plan to use Guard the Healing Land to defend 4 and remove the Blight. Maybe that's actually a better idea. If I do that, then I get to remove the Blight as well. So I'm going to actually take back what I said. I'm not going to put presence in there. I'm going to do something else. maybe I will go ahead and add presence and gain a power card. I can play Draw the Fruitful Earth this turn. Very good card that can stop builds. And even if they go into wetlands, I can stop them building there, or I can do whatever. So let's gain a power card instead. So we're going off our progression, which you can always look at what the cards are coming to, right? So that gets us Rouse the Trees and Stones. And I'm going to take off the energy track to start with. And I think I'm still going to choose Draw the Fruitful Earth, because we probably want to get some Dahan in here for the counterattack. Hello, Sparky Wolf. Let's hit finish playing cards. We just have the one card. No fast phase. So as we knew, they're going to build the mountains. You can see I haven't even mentioned this city and this town. I don't care about them right now. Like, I'm not going to expend resources on those invaders because they're not doing anything yet. We have to wait and see if they're going to do something there. Right now, I'm only concerned about the mountains and where they might explore, which is all the other land types. I haven't lost yet, Sparky Wolf. Working on it. But even still, I have no concern. This city may as well not exist. This town may as well not exist. Because, like, why would I worry about destroying them or doing anything to them when they're not showing up here, right? Now, we know that jungle and sand is going to be... This card is going to be jungle or sand. So it is going to come up, but I'm not really worried about it. So this lets me gather 2 explorers and 2 Dahan. I could stop this build. I could also stop this build and get 2 Dahan in here for the counterattack. There's going to be 4 damage with defend 3. That's going to be fine. So let's do that. I'm going to take these 2 Dahan because I'd rather these 2 be with that town. Maybe a fear card does damage or something like that. You can try to... Keeping Dahan around with the invaders is helpful generally, so... Alright, so if we look at the Spirit Foresight now, we can see... right now it thinks that this is going to cascade, right? Because right now there's no defend. They're going to do 3 damage, kill the Dahan, add a blight, cascade. But this one is already covered, as you can see, by our special rule. But no worries, we're going to use Guard the Healing Land there. Yeah, ignore the city and town, kill everything else. So this is going to build. So we do want to consider, do we want to deal with that? But honestly, this land, if it blights, I don't care that much. There's nothing going on. There's no Dahan. I'm just going to let that blight. I'm not going to click this when it's not really a good time to do it to get presence in there and make a sacred site or whatever. I'm just going to not worry about it. Sometimes you don't have to worry about a blight. Blight is just a number. It's your hit points. You don't need to have all your hit points. You can take a little damage and it's okay. And we're actually going to be removing blight this turn, so we're going to be net the same, right? So I think I want to add a presence and gain 2 energy. I am going to go into this land so I have range to see that land. If I went in the middle here, I would be at range 2 from there. So this is going to let me be at range 1 from every land on the board now. So that's going to be helpful. And I'm going to start, usually with Earth, I like to get to that +3 energy because I have a lot of cards that cost 3, and that helps me make sure I can at least play one every turn. So I'm going to start going up to the card plays track now because you can still only play 1. And it's just going to be Guard the Healing Land, and that's fine. So we're going to do that here. And our Ravage is taken care of. We can choose what to deal damage to. I'm going to, of course, hit the town. Yeah, as Pokemon said, the only blight you need to be scared of is the last one. And that's, yeah, so there's 2 that you need to be concerned about. The number 1 is the one before you lose on the blighted side. And the second one, which is still way less important, is the one that flips the blight card. Because flipping the blight card is quote-unquote bad, but it's not the end of the world, right? It's halfway, roughly. So, and it only really matters more when there's events, and there's events that do more different things based on the island being blighted. Without events, it almost doesn't, like, sure, you lose a presence every turn, not a big deal. or the things like that. Like the bladed on effects are, they are generally negative, but some of them are actually positive. Okay, so they ended up, the Ravage is fine. They built there. As we said, we're just going to let this be alone. So I'll put a little icon on it. You can right click or double tap on mobile and put your planning indicators down. You can say like, yeah, that land's good, or what's going on here. Useful for yourself, but also multiplayer. Little features you might not know about, the planning indicators. But yeah, I'm just gonna let them blight there. I'm not gonna try to panic and deal with that. Use Year of Perfect Stillness to stop one blight. Like, this is a very strong card, but it's not making you progress, right? There's no counterattack. So that's a card I want to use when there's a bad cascade, or maybe a whole bunch of Dahan are going to die, or something that's, going to be serious. Or a single blight in a land over there, like, not important. So our next card is called a Migrate. I'm just wondering if we are going to get 2 card plays this turn, that we could use Call to Migrate and Ritual of Destruction to do a lot of damage in this land. So I'm thinking about what they're going to do, right? So they're going to Ravage, add a Blight, no big deal. They're going to build in the sands. So you're going to build a town here and a city here. So that's a little bit more of a problem, right? But if we can let them build the city and then blow it up, we actually get a lot of fear. So with this Ritual of Destruction, it does, in a land with Dahan, 2 damage, and it's kind of like a circus, right? Like circus tent. It's kind of funny. If the target land has at least 3 Dahan, plus 3 damage and 2 fear. So that would let us completely solve this land. And that is why I'm going to click here. And I also get to make a sacred site here. So even better, we get to defend that land for the next Ravage, and even you can probably get a Dahan in there too. So everything's coming up Millhouse for us here. But this is just prioritizing, right? I'm not spending all my turn trying to stop this blight. If I did that, I wouldn't be able to take care of the much bigger problem coming up the following turn, right? So that's the kind of prioritization and thinking that I want to encourage you to do. All right, so let's play those cards. We don't have a fast phase. Okay, now we're going to get stage 2. So we might get coastal or one of the land types again. So it's jungle for the first time. That's fine. So this land is already taken care of. It's got defend 3. You might be wondering, why didn't I even talk about the innate power? With Earth, the innate power, this specific spirit's innate power is very strong, but it's hard to hit. And it's not the most important innate power. Honestly, looking at all the core game innate powers is probably the one that you use the least. But it is good, but I wouldn't go out of my way to worry about hitting it unless I have something I'm going to pull off, right? Some sort of special. I could have went rituals and rouse the trees and stones, and that would have probably let me accomplish the same thing, but Call to Migrate is going to let me get to Han in more places that I need them, as opposed to, just doing damage straight up. So, alright, so I'm going to use Call to Migrate here. It lets me gather 3 and push 3. I actually don't get to Han there, but I can get to Han out of this land, which they're not doing anything. Cooking lunch. What's for lunch, Sparky Wolf? So I'm going to use it here. Pull these Dahan in from here. And at least we'll get 2 Dahan in here. Or 1 Dahan in there. Oh, hang on. I could have gathered this guy. Let me grab this. So I'm going to use the undo button, which is always helpful. I'm going to actually pull. So I need 3 in here for Ritual's Destruction to work. And I'm going to put 2 in here. And then we've got 3 Dahan, so we do 5 damage. And that land is just going to be 1 damage from the Explorer. Lunch will be... I think you mean sausage taco. Or sausage wrap. Nice. I'm probably going to make a tuna sandwich later on. Okay, so we have two ravages. They're taken care of in terms of blight. We're not destroying the town here or anything, but that's okay. This ravage is going to be fine the following turn, right? They're building a town. Here they're building a town. This land might be a candidate for Year of Perfect Stillness because right now it's adding blight and the Dahan's going to die and we can't really do anything about it. I'm not like super concerned like if I let that go through, but also I probably like I don't need to reclaim. It can be good to try to like stretch out your stretch things out so you don't have to reclaim as often sometimes. And so by gaining a power card here, I can probably try to play Year of Perfect Stillness next turn here, along with some other power card that I get. So I'm just gonna gain a bunch of power cards. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then we'll be in a spot where we're gonna reclaim and be able to play 3 cards every turn. Oh, and I know what I'm getting, actually. So I forgot I have power progression. So I got a major power, which actually we can just use here and destroy everything. So Poison Land does 7 damage, and so it's going to just kill everything here. We're going to add a Blight and destroy the Dahan, but that's fine. So I could forget Perfect Stillness. I could forget something in my discard pile. You can forget from anywhere. In play, hand, discard. I'm really thinking about forgetting Year of Perfect Stillness because I don't need it now. So with this, what we can do is play these 2 cards and reclaim next turn. I think we're not in a case where I'm worried about needing Perfect Stillness, and I'd rather my other cards than that. So it is a strong card, but I'm not really worried. The next card we're getting is Devouring Ants, and then Vigor of the Breaking Dawn, which is very strong. So I want to keep my Dahan movement cards around for Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. And we want card plays to get to 3, I think. And we have to throw an extra presence on, so let's put it there. Yeah, so now we're going to use Browse the Trees we're going to be able to use to stop a build somewhere. And Poison Land will take care of that for us. So, easy peasy. Each player may push 1 Dahan from a land with invaders or gather 1 into a land with invaders. That's amazing because we're going to get the Dahan to fight back here and we don't kill it with Poison Land. So, very happy to see that. All right. They build, that's fine, and they explore the mountains. And you might notice, why didn't they explore this mountain? That's because there's no source of explorers. It's not coastal and there's no building in it or adjacent to it. So by clearing out this sand and stopping them building here, I've stopped them from exploring this land as well. So that's something you can do, especially it's easier on lower difficulty levels, to clear out some buildings so that they won't get to explore. And I'm actually, they're not going to get to explore either because this Ravage is going to kill this town. I'm going to kill these guys right now so they don't build. So they are not going to be able to explore a lot of the island here. Actually, even this mountain again, but we know that this is sands or wetlands coming up. Or coastal. So things are looking pretty good. To shreds, you say? Oh, Izari's having a Pokeball. Very nice. Alright. Yeah, I was just looking at the chat, but the Blight came from Poison Land, and now we have no cards in hand left, so it's a good time to reclaim. We could gain a new power card, but I think reclaiming is fine. We have 5 energy. We have enough small cost cards that we can go up to 3 and play like, yeah, play 5 energy worth of cards probably. And now we can actually get into another land. I'm gonna go in here in case there's some range 0 power that I want to use there. And we're kind of winning too hard. There's almost no invaders for us. Actually, we're gonna win as soon as we can kill this guy here. So what I think we probably want to do is Ritual's Destruction and maybe Call to Migrate. We just need 1 Dahan there. We're gonna get our innate power. Yeah, we're gonna win, right? So you can look ahead and see. Like, so this Ravage is gonna destroy the town. They're not gonna build, so there's gonna be, and they're gonna explore a couple explorers somewhere, if that. So there's only gonna be 1 town. As long as we can get a Dahan in that land, we're gonna win. So this wins the game. We can just play something else for a bonus. For no reason. But generally, if you don't have a reason to play a card, don't play the card, because you're just wasting energy, right? Or potentially a later play, unless you need the elements. Replace. I don't want to replace the town. I want the town to get destroyed for fear. So, place the explorer. Wing the game. What was that fear card? Lands with presence have defend 2, and we got some energy. Cool. All right. And they explore the sands just in there. We can bring everybody. Let's make it a party. We're gonna overkill a little bit by bringing 3 to Han. I get to repeat a power, so I could actually bring even more to Han if I wanted to. This lets me repeat a power of energy cost 1 or less, but there's nothing else to do, so this is actually going to completely empty the island, which is funny. So, and that's how you win difficulty 0 with Vital Strength of the Earth. One way. So that is a basic game here, and let's go on to the next spirit. So after you win a game on beginner, you get this pop-up. Congratulations, you won a game without reduced difficulty. Seems to me you're no longer a beginner. Click below to move up to intermediate level if you feel ready. And you just click on that, and that disables power progression and sets you on intermediate level, and so on. So I'm not going to click it now because we want to keep power progression on for the rest of this stream. So yeah, it doesn't make the game harder. It just gets you sort of into the more of the real game, right? All right, so let's go ahead and play with the next. Let's change this to complexity and grab low complexity lightning. And let's go with basic lightning. So we're on board B, sounds good. We're still on the basic game. So lightning is a spirit that's all about wind and fire and going fast. You can see that in their cards and their special powers. So they went into the jungle. So here, you know, this is a potentially something to worry about. We have a blighted land with where they're in, but not to worry. So lightning special rule says for every air you have, you may use 1 slow power as if it were fast. That's pretty strong. And our innate power lets us destroy buildings directly. Destroy a town, destroy a city, destroy extra buildings if you get more. And shatter homesteads is an important power that also destroys a town. So, and we can... This is really good with multiple spirits. You can use it on yourself, but you don't really need it that much on yourself. It just provides you elements because your special rule is letting you do that. And you've got Raging Storm, which can stop a build or if you can group invaders up together. It's pretty expensive for what it does, though. So it's very common with lightning to actually not play cards on the first turn, to just add presence and not play any cards. I'm not going to do that because that's not as much fun. But it is a thing that you can do. So I'm going to instead just play like maybe a suboptimal turn just to show some things. But let's do this. There's all kinds of different things you can do. So I'm going to move. I'm going to put presence here so I have range 1 to there. And I'm going to play these powers so I can use Shatter Homesteads at range 2 here. I can use my Innate here and destroy these towns. So you can do well with lightning in any play pattern, so you don't feel like you have to do a certain thing. You can see all my powers are fast here, right? And you might be like, oh, I can destroy this town. But like, why would I destroy that town when it's not doing anything, right? There's no need to destroy that town. Just, you know, in the words of a famous person, let it be. Not doing anything. We're going to wait. We're going to allow them to build, and then we're going to blow the things up. And they explore the sands. So see, we don't even care about that. It's it was never going to do anything. So we're going to destroy this town. And we're going to destroy that town. And now these ravages are all taken care of. And I could say, actually, instead of doing that, let's use Harbingers of Lightning, which says if you pushed Dahan into a land with a building, you get fear. So I actually want to do that first and then destroy the building. Yeah, and you get more fear by blowing up the buildings than stopping explorers. Stopping builds is great, but getting more fear is good too. You've never opened with 0 card plays. I mean, usually that I do the 0 card play opening. It's pretty strong, but... So here we could do a couple different things. We could reclaim, right? We could add more presence. What I'm going to do is actually add presence and destroy this with Raging Storm. Because I get energy, right? So let's do that and start going up the energy track. I'm not going up quite fast enough, but it's fine. We're just going to play the 1 card. We're doing it sort of backwards. Alright, enjoy your lunch, Sparky Wolf. Defend 3 in coastal lands. Well, that doesn't do anything. We got a fear card already from blowing up all the things. Oh, and I thought my power progression is not on. So, well, that's fine. At some point, you're going to turn off power progression, right? Like, whenever you're ready. And we'll see. I thought I had power progression. I guess I did. So when you don't have power progression, the normal way is when you gain a card, you choose, do you want a minor power or a major power? So early on, you're going to want to take minor powers. Ooh, okay. So, and you want to, you know, have a look at your situation and what you want to do. I can play 3 cards. I'm going to have 4 energy. So I can play those cards, or I can play something else as well. They went into wetlands, so they're going to build a city here. We'll probably just let this blight. Just ignore that land. It's going to be fine. And here, they're going to build a town. So we can actually either grab this defend card for here, or we could destroy the town. Because the Dahan are there. They can do the work for us, right? Lightning really likes 0 cost cards because it doesn't have a huge energy income. And so 0 cost cards really help it play more cards. And so I'm going to take... this also works in there too, doesn't it? 1 damage per Dahan. So that's pretty strong there as well. And we could also just blow up the town. I'm going to take the defend card just as something else. So if I have an air, I can increase the range. So that's why I, did that. So let's go with... I'm not going to get my innate power, so I'm going to take Shatter Homesteads to destroy this town. And I think I'm just going to play these 2 cards. Because then next turn I can play more cards. I can get to more energy and play these 3. So I'm going to do that. So we can defend here. I'm going to save the Shatter Homesteads for here. We're going to let them build the city and work on it later. We'll probably let them blight. It's no big deal. So it's possible a Wetlands comes up here again, and then it will become a big deal, but, you know, we'll take that chance. But it's jungle. So they're back in here and here again. And we're going to Shatter Homesteads. And we're going to likely get a Fear card next turn as well. So that's going to help us out. So here I think if I take this, I'm going to actually get 1 more energy. And so I think I'm going to do that. So then I have Sacred Site 1 range to everywhere. So let's put presence in here. And let's get up to 4 card plays for next turn. And I'm going to click, this isn't going to do anything for me, right? But it gives me that fire. And the fire lets me destroy another building. So, it's not actually important this turn because, well, maybe it's important. So we're going to use Raging Storm to stop a build. I'm going to stop this one here. And Harbingers of Lightning I'm not going to use yet, because there's no need to use it yet. And this one I'm going to save as well. So we're just going to accept this blight, right? They're just going to blight. They're going to build a town here, but we're going to blow it up in the slow phase. So, like, you don't always have to use your powers fast, right? Just make the decision. You have the power. You can decide. They don't build here. Raging Storm. And they go into the mountains. Alright, so I'm actually going to take the Dahan from here and put them in here. And why is that? So, number 1, I get Fear. Well, maybe I want to put them here. I want to put them in places with buildings so that we can use our Defend card that we picked up, right? And defend those lands. So, next turn they're going to build, but then they're going to Ravage here for 5 or for 6. So our Defend card is going to work there. So I'm going to actually move these Dahan in here. But I didn't spot the city there. So I could put them in here just to have them there, right? Like for later use. But you want the invaders, you want the Dahan to be near the invaders so that when the Ravage comes, you can take advantage of their damage. Because Dahan damage is 2 per Dahan. It's actually very strong. Very strong offense. The best offense is a good defense in Spirit Island sometimes. Not always, but it's something to think about. So our cards are all in the discard, so we want to reclaim again. And I don't feel like I'm ready for a major power just yet. I think I want, since I have 4 card plays, I want to get another 0 cost if I can. Or something, well, they all cost 1. So we'll look at our options and see what makes sense. What are we planning to do? We're planning to let them build here and defend next turn. So that land, I'm totally fine with. This land is fine. There's only 1 damage. It's not doing anything. And so we just have this build here, which is going to be a town and no big deal, right? It's going to be easy peasy. So really, I'm not really concerned about any of these cards. This does 2 damage and land without blight. It has a fire, which is good. Elemental Boon is a really strong card, especially in multiplayer, multi-spirit games, because you end up with 6 elements, right? 3 for that spirit, 3 for yourself. It's not bad here. Obviously, it gives me all the elements I want for my innate, but it doesn't do anything on the board. I think what I'm going to take, this is going to be sands or wetlands or coastal. I think I'm going to take Song of Sanctity. I don't know that I'm going to play it. It gives me the option to remove that blight. Or stop a build. Except they're not... The only chance for another explorer in those land types is this mountain. So it's not actually that important. Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. Let's just take Elemental Boon. It's kind of funny, but... The Hanways is good too, but I want to have my elements, so... Okay, so we want to destroy this town. That's going to be easy enough. We can either get more Dahan in here for the counterattack, or in here, so actually not quite both. Can't do both. And maybe I will go with Elemental Boon and Shatter Homesteads. Make sure we can do what we want next turn. So Elemental Boon's going to get me a Town Destroy. I don't really need Shatter Homesteads this turn. Take Lightning's Boon this turn so that we get the Town Destroy for here. And then next turn we don't get the... With Elemental Boon we don't get... Maybe we save Elemental Boon for next turn so that... So, instead of her... Yeah, okay, I'm just trying to work out something for next turn, so... Maybe we just play Shatter Homesteads then. Why don't we just play Shatter Homesteads? And then we can play these cards next turn. Honestly, that seems better, right? Sometimes less is more. We just destroy this town. And the next turn we do more stuff. Remove an explorer from coastal land. Sure. And they explore coastal lands. That's totally fine. Actually, that means our defend 5 is enough. That fear card helped us out there a little bit. Alright, get rid of that. And so... Now we have this Ravage that we were concerned about, but we weren't concerned about. We had a plan for it, right? We could take the energy gain here. We could go up to 5 card plays, but I don't think we can afford to play all of them. So I'm thinking of add a presence, gain 3 energy here. We do go to 5 plays. That plus 3 energy is just going to help us be able to play more cards next turn. We could actually play all our cards. Does that get us? That does get us the 2nd level to destroy a city. So we could destroy this city. I'm going to be greedy. It would be quite alright to not click that. But I'm going to be greedy and click it. So we get to defend 5 here. Which isn't quite going to kill everything. But if I move more Dahan in there, then it will. So I'm going to put another Dahan in there. This guy. Made it to level 2. So now in the Ravage, 6 damage back is going to clear the land so they won't build in that coastal land. And we have Elemental Boon. We're going to need to use that and gain fire. And the rest doesn't really matter, but because we don't, the only thing that matters is fire for that 2nd level. And we're going to use Raging Storm to stop one of these builds. Maybe the one where there's no Dahan. And I guess Lightning Spoon. And then Thunder Destruction, we can destroy the city, or we could destroy the town that they built here. I'm going to be able to easily destroy the town there in the fast phase next turn. So let's blow up the city. You can choose which effect makes it go fast. Doesn't really matter here. But there are technical reasons for that. Choose a different land and each gather up to 2 Dahan, 1 damage if Dahan are present. Oh, so they don't build. Easy. Okay, so we are down to 1 town left, and we're gonna win the fast phase. So that's game. As our terror level says, no towns and cities, and there's literally a town left, which is what we do. We blow up towns. Alright, we're just gonna reclaim. Want to get a major? See if we find something spicy. Nothing that's actually going to... I guess we could kill it with trees and stones. Sure. Just to be different, we're going to kill it with trees and stones. We're going to push Han in there. And then do 2 damage. Discard. Alright, that has been a quick lightning game. Lightning's pretty strong, even as a low complexity spirit. Alright, so onward to another low complexity spirit from the core game. It's gonna be River Surges in Sunlight. And we're gonna go... We can stick on power progression, I don't mind. Board B again, that's fine. And 0 difficulty. So River is more of a control spirit. It has some good damage when you get going up, but it's more about moving the invaders around, especially early on, as opposed to Lightning, which is about blowing them up. River, my beloved, yeah. So, wow, they just went right into the wetlands, which is very bad for them. They are going to be able to build a city here, so that's kind of awkward for us, but I'm not worried, like, at all. So, I'm just going to let them blight here and let the Dahan kill the city for us, is what's going to happen. So, River's special rule means their presence in wetlands counts as sacred site. And their innate power pushes invaders, can do damage and push, but the top level, 2 damage to each invader. Yeah, Lightning can be good for beginners, but I feel like I don't think it's the best learning spirit because it can teach you to rely on Lightning as if you need to act in the fast phase all the time. It's better to understand the flow of the game and understand the slow phase. Like, the slow phase is actually a faster fast phase. And understanding that can let you do a lot better in Spirit Island sooner than sort of having the crutch of Lightning, if that makes sense. All right, we also have our power progression to consider. If we get 2 power cards, we get Nature's Resilience. We could actually go and defend this next turn by getting 2 power cards. Yeah, the slow phase is a faster fast phase. Yeah. You just don't get to, like, you have to decide your cards in advance. That's all. So often people like to open with this adding presence with River. But since I know I'm getting Nature's Resilience, and I know they're going to build a city here, I'm going to... Like, sometimes power progression is stronger, because I know I'm getting this defense 6 next turn if I do this. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get Uncanny Melting. That's fine. We're going to get presence. Doesn't really matter. We're keeping that Sacred Site. So let's get over somewhere where we have... If we put a Sacred Site in this mountain and we have Sacred Site range 1 to everywhere. So let's do that. And I want, well, once I make that a Sacred Site, obviously. We can use Wash Away, or we definitely want River's Bounty. Wash Away is going to take care of that. River's Bounty gets Dahan in here. And Massive Flooding or Wash Away, we can stop a build somewhere. So River's really good at stopping builds by pushing the invaders away in the slow phase, and they won't build their next turn. They build, that's fine. So remember, I was just planning to let this blight. My original plan before I realized the power progression was I'll just bring some Dahan in here, push away the town, and explore, and then there'll just be a city with, if I had 3 Dahan there, right, I'm going to do this, I will have 3 Dahan here, and so those 3 Dahan, one of them would die and the others would kill the city, right? That's totally valid. Let the presence get destroyed, add a blight, that is totally fine. It's just because I knew that this Defense 6 was coming, I decided, okay, well, obviously it's reasonable to defend that now. But without that, like, you know, it's no big deal. So, and so, actually now I was thinking about next turn. So we have Nature's Resilience for this. I could actually, next turn, can I afford to Flash Floods this land? If I take the energy, I could Flash Floods for 2, kill the town, technically stop both builds. Stopping both builds seems like a good idea. So let's use Wash Away here, put you in there, and Massive Flooding. I can't put him in here safely because that would be too much damage. But I could put him here in the jungle or here in the wetland. I think the wetland is fine because we know wetlands isn't coming up again till stage 2. So we're going to get Nature's Resilience, and we're going to get more energy, and we're going to play those 2 cards. So we're going to destroy this town with Flash Floods, which does +1 damage on coastal lands. And there's 7 damage here, so defense 6 is good. Yeah, the alternative would have been allow this blight and I probably still would have done the same thing with Flash Floods here and stop the builds. So, and then I would have done, I don't know, whatever else, something else. But this line is pretty good. We cleared the back of the island. They won't be able to explore anywhere except around this mountain, right? Like, it's we're gonna win very fast, faster than lightning, I think. If they go in mountains, it's even easier. Yeah, okay, they're in mountains. So they're only building in this one land, and we can like just concentrate on that. We have this, that's just 1 damage. And unfortunately, Accelerated Rot only works on jungle wetlands. So we might just take a blight here. We could reclaim Nature's Resilience. We could, honestly, reclaiming right now Nature's Resilience and the Dahan here, that just wins the game. Okay, so let's just win the game by reclaiming our cards. We don't get to do it this turn, but we win next turn by defending here. So we got to put Dahan there, and then literally do anything else. Do Flash Floods, I guess. We want to make sure they don't. If they pull coastal, there would be too much damage. So do that. Kill the explorers. Sometimes you win very hard. Push 1 from a land advantage or gather 1. Let's add more Dahan. More Dahan the merrier. No Ravage because we stopped the build, right? That's what River's really good at, is stopping builds. because they can push away the explorers. Yeah, so they did explore mountains again, so that would have been one too many damage. So, I mean, we have ways to deal with that, but... And Massive Flooding says, I don't know, get out of my inland. And so this Ravage is gonna win the game. So, I don't know. Use Accelerated Rod on that guy. You can actually forget the major that you picked up. If you don't like any of them, you can do that. That is valid. I can't even afford to play it, so whatever. Alright, GG. Oh, except we don't have the terror level yet. We didn't win yet. Well, we should have generated some fear. Oh, I should have done something to kill that guy. I can go back. Hang on. Do I have... What if I can undo gaining a card because I can Flash Floods that guy, right? I can win by killing all the invaders. No mint. That's fine. Because of power progression, I can undo gaining the power card. Alright, now we win on tier level 1. So, I mean, I would have won eventually, but let's just win now. No invaders left in the island. Alright. That is a river game. I'm gonna get through all these spirits in less than an hour. The last one is Shadows Flicker Like Flame. And so let's go to... There's a lot of Shadows aspects. Let's go to base. And power progression is fine. Okay, so they explore wetlands. Shadows is also very good at stopping builds by its innate power, which gathers explorers or and then can destroy and do damage eventually. It's also really good at setting up, allowing them to build in places, and using Favors Called Due to gather a lot of Dahan, and Concealing Shadows to allow the Blight through but save the Dahan, and sort of set up huge counterattacks. So that's a really strong thing for Shadows to do. Mental of Dread is good for controlling the invaders. Crop Wither's not as strong, but it's not bad. Power progression comes with some defend, and Jungle Hungers is very good. So, special rule for Shadows is whenever you use a power, you can pay an energy to target a land with Dahan regardless of power's range. It actually lets you use Concealing Shadows in a land where you're not even there, right? So with this start, if we aren't really set up really well for a counterattack situation because the Dahan aren't nearby, and you know, so I'm just gonna sort of do some delaying action by preventing this build, and then Mantle of Dread pushing the stuff they build out of here. Maybe I'll push stuff all into here. Oh, we have disease. Did we have? Why did we have tokens? We didn't have tokens in the previous games, right? Why did we have tokens in this game? That feels wrong. Is it because the aspect was briefly selected? I think so. Weird. Feels weird. But we're not using the event deck or any powers from Jagged Earth or Branch and Claw or anything. I'm just gonna make a quick feedback here. Is why are there tokens in this game? Mention content. Maybe because of... So one of the shadows aspects does require tokens, right? So I think it's because that aspect was selected and it turned on the tokens, but then it didn't turn them off when we switched back to the base. I think that's probably... This isn't going to come for most people because they just always play with tokens and stuff, so... So, in case you don't know, Disease is going to prevent a build, and Beasts literally won't do anything at all. Well, probably Command Beast is going to pop up, but... Yeah. Anyways, we'll just do our thing. So, Shadows can reclaim and gain a power card there. Gain a power card, add a presence, or add a presence, gain 3 energy. You start off with 0 energy and +0, so often this last growth option is the best one to start with, just because you need energy to play your cards, and you want to start playing at least 2 cards, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to plan to gather him in here and push these guys out, because we don't have defend or anything, so let's do that. Let's put a presence. I'm going to plan for a counterattack space somewhere. It really depends on what they end up doing. So I'm honestly, yeah, here because it gives me range to there. Yes. For later. So Mantle of Dread. And usually I would play Favors Call Due. Which it's fine to play Favors Call Due. We'll get a lot of fear. We'll put Dahan somewhere. So depends on what they explore is where we're playing for a counterattack. It's jungle, which is like, I don't want them jungle. That's fine. I want them to come in somewhere where they have a bunch of stuff already. What we can do is push all the stuff into this jungle and set up to blow them up there, I think. We can get 4 Dahan into this jungle. But this one, we can also have 4 Dahan, so it's the same. I think since that one has one already, and we are going to be getting Dark and Tangled Woods, let's put them in here. We don't really need to put all 4. 3 enough? There's going to be... Well, they're going to build a city, because we're gonna let them build a city so that the Dawn can kill it. So let's put everything in there. Like, I'm doing the opposite. I'm actually putting a town and an explorer in here. I'm putting more stuff in here because I want them to ravage here and have a big ravage because I'm going to protect the Dahan and allow the Blight through, and the Dahan are going to kill them all. So the more we can get in here, the better. Oh, we can actually just stop that build if we want easily too, so... I could gain a power card. I know it's Dark and Tangled Woods, which we don't really care about this turn. The Ravage is empty. I just want to get my power cards to get through them. So let's do that. And let's start taking some energy, because we're going to get some major powers coming up. And let's just maybe spread out our presence. We can use Crop's Wither there if we want. We could just not play a card this turn. It's kind of valid to just not play a card this turn, because none of them are doing anything. I guess I could Crop's Wither here, and then they wouldn't get to explore there in the next stage. Oh, we kind of want to stop them building there. So what if I do this, and then next turn I play Concealing Shadows and Shadows of the Burning Forest? Sure. Oh, why am I playing Dark and Tangled Woods? It doesn't do anything. It's fine. I get 2 fear. But I'd rather them build and... Hang on. Let them build. We don't get fire next turn. Oh, we do, because we get Shadowburn Forest, and we can play 3 cards. Okay, I'm just trying to work out next turn. So we don't have to play this turn, but I want to play it just to close off that back area a bit more. We'll play next turn Dark Entangled Woods for this Ravage, Concealing Shadows for this Ravage, and Shadows the Burning Forest, which is going to let us push something, and we get our innate. We get our innate at the first level again. Yeah, okay, that seems okay. Also, they're just going to kill this guy, and he's not going to build after all. So that's fine. Explore Sands. Yeah, I saw Command Beasts hiding there. So we are getting Command Beasts, which is a thing. But it's not going to do anything. Okay, let's again gain a power card. And play 3 cards. Let's go. Just do anything. If it's mountain or jungle, push. Yeah. Let's make this a sacred site. And I don't really need to play Dark Entangled Woods. It's 2 fear though. Like that's I'm playing it for the 2 fear. So I'm just gonna use this to get rid of it. I'm just gonna move the beast. I'm not gonna get any benefit from it. Concealing Shadows is gonna go here. And I guess I could defend there. Maybe we get more defend from the fear card. Possible, right? And we could stop a build. You just pull. Actually, I could pull him into here and he dies. So let's do that. Remove 1 for land with sacred site. These guys are all dead, right? So take out an explorer from here. So we do, unfortunately, the token does stop them from building there, so we get a little bit of unintended benefit, but then the disease is gone, that's it. Alright, they go back into the sands, which they don't even get to see there. And I don't even want to push these guys. Just let them be there. Actually, I could... Hang on. Let me push 1. He's going to die to this Ravage, so go there, get killed. Sure. Alright, let's reclaim. We get Jungle Hungers. We can't afford it, though. We'd love to do Jungle Hungers. We could use it here next turn after they cascade. I don't think we get... Do we get to threshold it? I think we could threshold it, too. Okay. I don't think we're going to use Dark Entangled Woods. Or maybe, I don't know what we're gonna... Yeah, mountain jungle. Sure. Alright, so I kind of want to save my energy for next turn. I do get +3, so this 3 energy is for Jungle Hungers. So we could do like gather Dahan. I just want to play nothing and let it cascade and kill it all. Is that bad? Let's just do that. Oh, this beer card is from Nature Incarnate, so it comes up because it's compatible with the core game. Isolate, defend 2. Yeah, we almost stopped the blight. We're gonna get the blight card, so that's exciting. And it's coastal lands. Alright, next turn. We're gonna go 3 energy. We're gonna have tons of energy. Jungle Hungers and cards that have plant. We also get this. They're gonna have 1 town left. But we can... Yeah, so maybe if I put my presence where they're gonna build their town, we can Crops Wither it and win. So let's do that. You want to undo during the spirit phase, that's the way, by the way. So let's do this. Then we're going to get to Crops Wither, the town they build. So. Oh, I forgot to... Oh, I don't have a sacred site now. I couldn't use my power. Okay. Is that fine? No, that means there's 2 towns. So it's not fine. I don't have any sacred site because of the blight. What happened to this? Oh, this sacred site went away earlier. Just wrecking myself. Okay, let's make this a sacred site then. Okay. Bring you. Different land with Dahan, 1 damage, defend 3. Oh, hey, we're gonna win. Alright, the island is blighted. Oh no. This is a blight card for Nature Incarnate. We can keep it, or we can replace it. Let's replace it. In solo, if you get a low blight card, you can replace it. This is similar to a core game card. And we have to cascade, that's fine. And they build, but guess what? Jungle Hungers is hungering. And you're going in there. We're gonna be, they're not tier level. High enough tier level to win at tier level 4, that's okay. So this says, on the threshold, we have enough elements to destroy city as well, so GG. Alright, Shadows got a little messy, but we kind of, it didn't have to get messy, we chose to get messy. But a win is a win. Doesn't matter how much blight is on the island, doesn't matter how much blight you have on the card as long as you have at least 1. So that's how it is. So I hope that was helpful. Difficulty 0, low complexity gameplay. So after you've won a game, just click this level up. Level up. You're not a beginner anymore. You can win. And then when you go to the new game screen, you can see that power progression is turned off for all the spirits. All right, so let's play something else. That was all very straightforward. I know when you're first starting Spirit Island, it seems like a lot, but really, once it clicks, it clicks. Actually, I'm gonna go and play a quick play. So I'm gonna get whatever I get. And I'm gonna put myself back to expert. And quick play. Let's do, what do we got? 50 minutes. Let's do 3 spirits. And I don't know if I want an 11 difficulty game. Let's throw in a mid-range 6-7 difficulty and let's see what we get. We got an extra board. Sweden 1 and varied terrains and an extra island board with Sharp Bangs, Finder, and Thunder Speaker Tactician. All right. That's a totally different vibe than the last one. We're no longer in the basics. Actually, we don't have the event deck turned on and Jagged Earth. We're still with core game content. That's interesting, but valid. I forgot to turn those back on. That makes it simpler. No events and command beasts and stuff. So this is Finder asking to add a presence to any land 1. Let's go all the way over here. And Sharpfangs gets to add a presence. Let's go all the way over here. Oh, right, there's an empty board. I probably should have put presence on that board, but whatever. I'm next door to it. Fine. Uncle Claw. So with varied terrains, when they explore mountains, they put an extra explorer. And Sweden 1 is not too bad. They just have heavy mining and their escalation. So varied terrains is tricksy though. We don't have any cascades. Oh, 1. So that's not too bad. We could sudden ambush this. Can we sudden ambush that? Manifest is hard to do with this version of Thunder Speaker. It's very expensive. But Words of Warning can deal with that. So if we do I want to add 2 presents or 1? If I sudden ambush and voice of command, can we get in and blow up the town is the question. I would have 2 air and I need 2 sun. Yeah, so I can get 2 Dahan over. I think that works. And I can afford it. So let's do that. Interesting. I feel like Elemental Boon gonna be pretty strong between Finder and Thunder Speaker. Delusions of Danger is good. Reaching Grasp is good. Don't love Devouring Ants for Thunder Speaker destroying Dahan, but it is okay. I think especially with Sands being the double cascades and stuff, I'm gonna go with Delusions of Danger. Like that's gonna be useful. Okay, we're gonna take Sun, and we're gonna take this and this, and we're gonna get to move 2 Dahan and lead the Furious somewhere. Whether it's maybe it's in the sand, maybe it's here. We have some options. We can even go here. So gives us some options. So all right, so that is that. Finder. I'm thinking we could stop this build with Finder maybe. This is just like probably a blight. Because we could use... there's not enough on there for spirit speakers. We also have our own board to deal with, but getting rid of this inland thing is really helpful because these lands won't explore. These two. Yes, Pokemon, it is very terrains, your darling. If I get in there and use, it feels like a lot to use Aid from the Spirit Speakers and Lay Paths. For one land. I could instead, if I isolate it, it does block the explorers as well. Maybe that is better. Play 2 cards with water. I'm wondering if we could do like a Traveler's Boon. Traveler's Boon plus Sharp Fangs' damage stops this build. So that's not bad. So what if we do, I'm gonna add presence in any land. I always love card plays. I always go to the bottom. My kryptonite. If we click this, if I clicked Sun, then... Oh, right, but I only get one play this turn if I do that. If I do this... Oh, there's no other card with water. I actually can't do the isolate, can I? Oh, I can. If I click this card, I get an isolate. If I isolate that, isolate that, and Traveler's Boon, Paths Tied by Nature also solves that build. So we just pile everything in here for now. Or wherever we want. Okay. Seems fine. If I did take Elemental Boon, we could, like, give you so many more innate power options. It's insane. But I can't afford that. Don't have the energy down there. So. Alright, Sharp Fangs, you probably want to get a power card and add presence. So let's do that. Drift down into slumber. I think that is... I'm going to click on that 0-cost plant card. So, just almost because this says Sands Defend Forward is just so important with varied terrains. At least we don't have events, like we're not going to get surprise blights, so that is a thing. And we want to use Ranging Hunt this turn. I could just... Ranging Hunt just kills that if I convert a presence, doesn't it? So we don't even need Traveler's Boon. Maybe I play Circuitous instead. So, yeah, we do this and convert it. And play the cards, the 2 cards we need to play. We stop this build. already. So they don't need Traveler's Boon unless Traveler's Boon helps with anything else. I don't think it does. Let's play that instead. And we didn't need the water anyway, so it doesn't change isolate, doesn't change anything else. So let's play that. And that's like more useful, right? We can push out, we can deal with that build. Yeah, it's just more useful. Okay, so ranging hunt. And then we can spread out the beasties. I want to put them here with this town, and maybe we can kill this town and really block off the inland here. Wondering if there's no way we can deal with that land so quickly. Tempting to see, like, would there be some slow damage or something like that, but the quickest way is going to be command beasts. I think I am going to put both of them there. Should I put both of them there? I have one in here for Too Near the Jungle. Yeah, actually, one in here for... Actually, in the fast phase, if we can do damage... Oh, no. Don't go to that land. Sorry. If I put a presence here, I can still do 2 damage here next turn, right? So, but this gives us more options for Too Near the Jungle. Like, we can kill in this wetland or in this jungle. Explorer pops up, so... Alright, we're going to close ways here to stop exploration in these 2 lands. Good value. 1 isolate for 2. And... sudden ambush. I don't actually need to move more on. Okay. And we don't care about adjacencies. I don't think I care at all. I can always undo it. Something came up that mattered. Explore jungle. So yeah, they don't explore here. Yeah, that's actually, that means we're going to be able to pocket this whole region really well, because I can Too Near the Jungle this guy. Destroy this town in the fast phase. I don't know if we have the elements for it. Anyways, we can try. We have the damage next turn. If I take plant, I think I need to gain a card that has the right elements, probably. So it's possible that we kill this town in the fast phase, and then, or maybe Binder helps us move it or something, and then like they literally can explore like this whole area, this whole little pocket, because this is going to be dealt with too, so that's fun. Teeth Gleam. Yeah, I'm going to put beasts in here. Maybe. Oh, they went into jungles. What does jungles do? After they build cities, add light there? Oh, wow. Jungles are looking good. No cities. Alright, I think beasts here is good. This is just a blight. This is a blight. This is... We're going to take care of this right now, I think. Well, yeah. We're gonna gather. Let's do it in here so that we bring our presence along nicely. We had Voice of Thunder, but we didn't really have a whole lot. We can move out of this land, I think is probably best. maybe into here. We can Delusions of Danger this guy and defend this the following turn. So, because there's only going to be 4 there. So, yeah, we can Delusions that guy into here and defend it, and then next turn Words of Warning here. So I think we have this stuff all taken care of. Teeth Gleam we could sort of work on Teeth Gleam here, but I think I don't know. Drift Down only defends 1. This is kind of annoying because it's like just killing everything. Maybe get defend. I can't even putting 1 here. I don't even. I could put Presence there and convert and do enough damage. So that's an option. Let's give ourselves the option. Let's see what power card. If we get a good defend card, we just defend it. But maybe we kill the stuff. All right. Push up to half of you. I want you to go somewhere else. Not into these jungles, actually. That's like the place where I am. So I guess you're going in here. Which is a little terrifying. I could send Dahan over here. But I think I want that Dahan to be there to kill the guy, so. And yeah, I think I'd rather be in there for open the ways. This can be a dump land, a dangerous dump land. And this is move up to 2. And this could be, I could put them, there's a chance that we somehow deal with that. So what if we open these ways, then we can dump them in here instead of in there, right? Oh, it has to have the same terrain. So forget that, it doesn't actually work. So sure, you're going there. All right, so we end up with just 2 blight in the mountains, maybe 3. And jungle builds are happening, but not too many. So far, so good. I think we want to gain power, add presence. And if we get a plant animal card, that's awesome. If we don't, we don't. So let's see. That helps us decide on what we're doing here, right? So now we got Dark and Tangled Woods. Or Quicken the Earth Struggles, defend 10. Dark and Tangled Woods just defends it. And then we can... Terrifying... This stupid town, I want to get rid of him, but I don't think we can. Quicken is interesting. It's just really hard to use. Requires a sacred site. Sacred sites are not a thing I want to have a lot of as Sharp Fangs. Probably I want to go... Yeah, now I don't really need the plant because I'm not going to be able to use it this turn. If we go in here... I want to play that. We could prey on the builders. Or Terrifying Chase. Problems, yeah, we don't get... Oh, this is how we do it. Traveler's Boon. Now that we put presence in there, we can Traveler's Boon you away. And now we get this super pocket. Okay. And then we'll play in the builders just to stop a build. That all seems good. So I don't think we Convert presence this turn, because we need our presence around for Finder, so. Alternative to Prey on the Builders, we could Terrifying Chase these guys, which does make more fear than this. Or we could just plan to kill all this stuff next turn, but we have to do something. So I think Terrifying Chase, and maybe Finder can give us. If Finder comes in here, we could open the ways from there. Maybe that's something Finder wants to do, is get +1 card play, get in here, and we can Terrifying Chase them into over here or something like that. So we're doing Traveler's Boon, and we're doing maybe Aid from Spirit Speakers and stop one of these builds. Chase them into here. Yeah, sure, that's fine. So we could gain a power card, but I need the energy. So let's go here. Oh, this has to be a land that has Dahan, but we can always throw them somewhere. It's fine. Okay. And we're going to do Words of Warning. Maybe we just do this, because we want to reclaim Words of Warning for next turn. I think we do this get more energy, so that's good. Oh, 1 second, be right back. All right. Sorry for that. Great chair. The chair is wise. We're going to just throw presents down, I think. And I don't even know. We don't get any innate of any consequence here, but we're mostly dealing with these 2 lands, and then we're going to deal with that next turn. So we sort of have things planned out decently. Let's make a sacred site here. And another presence to another land with the Han, I guess maybe over here. I don't know. I guess this is a good one to block, because this town here is already providing Explorer, but if this doesn't have a town, then this land doesn't get explored either. So that seems good. Let's just keep them away from the island. Push. I can push him in the dump land, but he's gonna get killed here, right? So we don't have events. We know what's happening. Dark and Tangled Woods. Solved. Ranging Hunt just moves things. I can move 3 presents, but only 1 invader. So, yeah. I could get Dahan in here by ranging hunting, but I would need. No, I don't think I can actually do it. Yeah, I can't do what I want, so that's fine. Traveler's Boon. We're going to go here. Just that one, I think. spirit speakers. Gonna be on one of these two lands, I think. I guess it could have been that land. Fine. This land stops them exploring here, so I think it's that land. And where do you want to go? Is there anywhere that you just die? No. Unfortunately not. So maybe this wetland. Wetland is fun. I get to move to Han as well. I get to move, or I can move a presence. Or a Dahan. Yeah, I think I just don't want to move anything else. I'm okay with that. I can move some beasts around. I kind of don't know. I guess put some beasts in here for command beasts. Because this beast here doesn't matter. Let's bring you and maybe in here, because that's going to be blighted and difficult to deal with. So put the beasts in there so they can do something. I don't know. Let's make it my presence in there too, right? So, all right. I don't think we care about that. Oh yeah, heavy mining exists. Well, both are heavy mining. So ultimately 4 blight. That's, I forgot about heavy mining, but I'm not really concerned. Command beasts coming up. So here we get the sands, which is, maybe I should have put the guys there, but oh well. All right, so sands came up, which means this as a dump land is a little more scary, but we don't have like a ravage skip. So maybe I don't dump them in there just to try to make it a little more maintainable. I'll put them in this wetland maybe. Or just maybe this is a dump land now. I want it to be somewhere where I can attack with beasts though. Why did I put them in the wrong place? It's not wrong, but like, I can't do damage there, right? It's fine. They aren't building here. Maybe we do... We want to put them in there. Problem is we don't have any skip. We can probably look for a major power soon. And manifestation is not going to be set up there soon enough. I mean, it's not the end of the world if they cascade there or whatever, but... We have drift down to slumber defense for this turn and next, so we can defend there easily with sharp fangs. Actually here too. We want, so maybe that's a finder thing, and then we can defend there. Range 2. Not the end of the world, but the end of lives. I could push them in here, but I feel like I don't want to push them into an empty land. Yeah, I think let's lean into the dump land. and make that our battleground. So I could have put those beasts there. That would have been smart. That was a mistake. Those beasts should have gone there. But I did screw that up. So let's get Dahan there also. We want Dahan there? I think so. Gather 3 Dahan. And me. And me. It's Tiny Sands. Alright, we know you're reclaiming, so let's do that. And we're not can't afford majors yet. We'll call to migrate. That seems awesome, but so does Gift of Constancy. I think it's called to migrate, so strong. For you. And Call to Bloodshed. And Nature's Resilience. Yeah, Nature's Resilience is going to be clutch for this land, I think. The 1 damage per Dahan is like a cheap version of this. Like, very cheap. Alternative. What are the chances that we can do 6 damage and then defend 6 there? I think that's pretty good chances we can make a defend 6 work here, right? Okay. Alright, this turn we want Words of Warning. And if we stop a Sands build here. Those Cascades. Look at the 2 Sands Explorers were stopped by that work we did. It's very strong. Stopping this build is also good, so. Okay, we want to play Drift Down. So that's going to be, this is going to be Drift Down. And Prey on the Builders. Their land where we can do that. Yeah, we can gather beasts in. We want to reclaim. We could get Dark and Tangled Woods back. I think gain power card, play 3 is good though. Encompassing Ward. Huh. That's interesting. Also Veil. Gift of Power, Fiery Doom. Encompassing Ward, Finder could defend 2 lands with that. Bad elements though. I kind of like Veil. Veil does 3 damage here or stops a build somewhere. I think I feel like Veil has an animal on it. Let's add presence to this jungle. Or this one, whichever one we can reach. Yeah. We didn't get the damage. That's fine. But we can get a beast in here and stop the build. So we have options. Finder. Does Finder want to get a power card? We still are at 0 energy. We could get to 1 energy. Yeah, our cards cost 2. We have Offer Passage, which isn't really doing a whole lot. I guess getting more Dahan in here is good. I guess mostly we're going to be looking for reaching that. So we need... For stopping this, we need to push someone. So I think we need to actually grab the sun off of this in order to do that. Or no, we could grab the moon. So we could take the 1 moon because moon is pushing up to half. So we can push the town out of here. Throw them in the dump land. Alright, it means we need to click this. And then we can Shores and Heartland the problem guys here. So this is like a problem land, so we can do that. Click, click. And we got an isolate. Or something. Isolate this. We isolate that. Doesn't actually... It stops them. If we block this build, it stops there. Oh, we got command beasts. Command beasts. We could orchestrate our beasts around in such a way to do something, maybe. Okay, I want to do that. I want to stop this guy from building. I don't want him to go... I guess he can go in the jungle. I could actually bring more Dahan there to kill the 2 guys. Stop this build. I like stopping that build. I know I'm not doing enough damage here. But... I actually don't know if I can use Ranging Hunt in the way I was wanting because of the blight around here. I guess I can through Open the Ways. Alright, let's open these ways. I'm just throwing everyone in there. Go in. Everyone's going in there. If I isolate this land, then they don't get to explore this board at all. Like, coastal lands only. So, that seems good. I kind of want to just dump more Dahan in there and find some more defense. I think maybe that's what we're going to do. And we have command beasts, so we can throw more beasts in there too. So I would like to stop this build if I could, but I think instead we're gonna put beasts in there and then just pray in the builders there, which does saves the disease, doesn't actually do anything, but I don't need to put presents in there. Is there another beast I can get from somewhere else? No. Oh, there is. That one. Alright, we have 4 beasts in here, so we're gonna be able to do a bunch of damage in there in the fast phase. We might want to use like sudden ambush as well, so let's bring more Dahan in there too. These Dahan in the jungle are fine. Maybe I want them to be near this. Let's take these 2. Actually, you know what? These guys. Can I reach those guys? No. Where are the Dahan that... I think these guys. Let's grab them. You go in there. Okay, and we have command beasts, but it's not really going to do anything, so let's save it for next turn. And we might get even more beasts in there, so... I don't think we even blight. No blight. Coastal lands. That's how they get around my super isolate. So this mountain is perhaps you could say an issue. Yeah, the Sands party. This one is like fine because I can defend 4 there. Maybe get some Dahan in there would be nice. Party in the Sands is going to explode. I can push 2 invaders. I was gonna push these guys. I think these guys still make sense. I could push these guys into here. But I think stopping this heavy mining is the way. I could put them in here. And with the 2 blade there already. Oh, what does the jungle thing do? They build cities, yeah, okay. This is close to Thunder Speaker doing stuff. This is actually a problem I made for myself that isn't great. So Gather the Warriors can actually bring some extra Dahan, maybe. If we... this... Alright, we have a lot of Dahan there. What is even going on in here? We have 8 Dahan, 4 towns, a city, 3 explorers. The Ravage would current kill 7 Dahan right now, but that's not going to happen. We're going to do something else. We're definitely going to play Nature's... Well, we have defense 6. So we have to kill 8 health, or 5 health. No, 7 health. 7 health of invaders there, slash do other things. You need to reclaim, so let's do that. Defend 2. That's really good here. Elements are bad, though. I'm going to take a look at the Unknown. It has great elements, and it's free, and I want to play a million cards. So I want to do damage. I want to get the plant. Let's add this here. Turn it into a beast. I can afford... Yeah, I don't have to play... But I can play my defend, which takes care of this. This is luckily Death by Dahan. If we can get a Dahan in there, that would be nice. This one is Drift Down. This one, I don't know yet. We have Lure of the Unknown also. Yeah, Veil of the Night's Hunt does a ton of damage there. Actually. There are exactly 8 invaders. So that seems like a good idea. I have to play... If I play that, I have to play this. You do 8 damage to the Veil of the Night's Hunt, and there's 5 beasts. We kill everything but 1 explorer. Okay. So we don't need to defend it. We just murder everything. That seems good. That means maybe we can blow other stuff up. They're gonna double build here. We have sudden ambush, so let's definitely stop some problems over here. Would love to play 3 cards, but I don't have... I can't afford that. So, let's do this. Maybe we can find some cheap cards. I called Isolation. Amazing card. That means, yeah, we're solving more stuff now, so... add a presence over here since we have our million Dahan. So, I want the fire. What am I going to play? Isolation and sudden ambush. And I can just take a sun, so I don't think it matters to do that. So let's go. Crack. We can like get ourselves teleported to over here. That'll be great. All the isolation could actually push everything but the city out of here, but like that's not really what I want to do. We also have command beasts that we're not using. This is a thing. They're not building any cities, and they're not double building, because we're going to stop that. So I think Gray Terrains wise we're doing okay here. We have this one we haven't dealt with yet, but probably you're reclaiming, right? And ignore range this turn, so I'm sure we can just send those guys somewhere. Or we could defend 5. Can we get Dahan in there? That would be cool. I think so. If we... Spend 5, move to Han. And ignore range this turn. So for each Dahan, you may move a single. Like, I could... This has 8 Dahan, right? So, like, that's incredible. But I think offer passage is what I'm thinking of to move between here and here. Binder's crazy. One survivor to tell the tale. Well, they're going to get killed in the Ravage is what's going to happen. Okay. The idea of using Aid from the Spirit Speakers to just teleport all of these guys somewhere is kind of hilarious. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to murder them. Alright, Veil the Night's Hunt first. It's everything for 1. We don't have another beast available. I don't think. We don't have any innates. We can't. Yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, do we actually kill? We kill everything. Is there something we didn't kill? Oh, there's a town. There's a town. Where's... Oh, we can... Okay, command beasts then, I guess. And command beast stops the build in the mountain. Yeah. I'd rather stop the build in the jungle, though, right? Yeah, we're short 1 damage, turns out. But we have command beasts, so... Actually, command beasts means that we stop both builds. One here, 1 here. Move presence, leave it there. Oh, we don't stop both builds. That's fine. 1 damage. I think just fear, right? Fear is better than killing an explorer. Oh, I could if I was... Hang on. I'm not stopping this build. Let's put a beast here or here. Yeah. Sorry, doing this like 5 different times. And build up room presence. So now there is 2 damage there, but Command Beast is going to kill it now. Which beast is this? Oh, it's got more beasts in there, so... Presence. Oh, I can get beasts over here, but the problem is there's light in there, and it's not going to really work. A little complicated with all the beasties everywhere. Got some builds. We get escalation this turn, don't we? Here. Okay. Now we're gonna move some beasts. Okay. So 1 blight. 0 blight. Move to Han. Let's take a couple presents too. Maybe 1 presence. We want 3 Dahan though. Is our Dahan reservoir? Maybe we want 4 Dahan. That'll be the Furious. Okay, we don't want them to build there for sure. Don't know that. I guess, yeah, we have to use called isolation here. And you may as well go in this mountain. Okay. Choose a land to isolate. That's lovely. So right now they're going to explore. We can try to stop places that are going to get converted, right? So this guy are at risk and so on. So yeah, there's quite a few. So I think there's no place we can like stop a bunch of lands by clicking once because the problem lands are near the coast. I think the coastal lands are the best option because we don't want them to convert and then suddenly have a ravage. So I'm gonna choose sands primarily. Sands with 1 Dahan. And I guess that's fine. Alright, so I think they're going to convert this guy. But that's it, because of our preventative measures. Also means there's 2 coastal sands that are... 3 coastal sands that are just fine. The Tuner of the Jungle... 4 coastal sands are just fine. It's very good. Tuner of the Jungle is not doing a whole lot. I think I might need to... I guess if I do here, then lure stops this blight. I could whittle away at this. This is another thing. 12 damage, 2 blight there, so we can't use our damage there. We can... we don't have presence in there with binders, so we can't get Dahan in there directly. The only thing we can do is here or here. I guess we'll take care of this. Just take 2. How much? Actually, let's do this. Push so that we can defend that. Or whatever. Solves there. And yeah, with Tuna in the Jungle, we can actually just solve this with Dark Entangled Woods, right? So that's solved. And so is this. So one of the others solved. Yeah, so I think solving this by... I would like to solve this by defense so that the Dahan does something, though. But Lure doesn't actually work well there. We have this defended. I mean, this is probably just going to cascade. Finder can probably actually sort it out with shenanigans, but it seems that likely maybe we'll find a major power or something. What do we want to tune in the jungle? We have a lot of options, actually. We can't just quite stop a build, but we can chip away to sands, chip away to... Yeah, we also could deal damage here, right? Sort that. Let's do that. Then we can kill the town with damage. Gain a power card, I think. Reshuffled. 1 damage per Dahan. Remove blight from mountains? If there's no explorers. So, gonna happen. I want to have energy. Get in here. So that defend takes care of that. We need to play 2 animal cards for damage. And some beasts. We could do a lure, but I don't want to lure towns, inland, or whatever. We could terrifying chase most of the stuff out of here. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a better idea. Okay. And I don't think I want to convert. I could convert this guy. I don't think he's really doing anything. All right, Thunder Speaker and defend here easily. Maybe are we in a position to manifest? We could. Could actually do that. Manifest here. So I think that's pretty good. That solves that land in a big way. So let's get a miner. Enticing Splendor for more, or Gift of Living Energy. Gift of Living Energy. 3 card plays. And I don't actually need any element. So we're going to have two or three, I guess. Yeah, we can have 4 damage here for nature's for manifestation. I wonder actually if instead I play Voice of Thunder, I can have more Dawn. That's better. We can kill everything. You can get these 2 guys in as well. So. Sounds like a plan. And LOL, what's happening there? I think it's just a cascade, right? It's 2 blight and a cascade. That's done. Everything else is fine, right? It's just literally the one problem. I could, like, try for a major. But, like, honestly, it just blights. They're not doing anything else in that board. I'm not worried about it. So, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to get another card play. And it's going to be good. I guess I want to put presents here to start vacuuming up this or putting it somewhere. And I don't know, Binder doesn't really need to do anything this turn. Everything is sorted. Well, there's this. Can we... move them to a land that's also coastal and inland? Sure. We can do that. Is there anything else? I guess we could move these mountain guys into there. And well, I guess I could, if I do this, I could just stop the build and then do something else. Sure. Sure? I only get to push 1. I don't get the... I don't even have a use for that. What about this? That's fine. I don't know. We're doing stuff. Spending that. Also, probably don't need Terrifying Chase, but fine. Sure, we'll have a use for it. Fill everything. Let's put the beast back in there. We can teleport somewhere. And there. Yeah, Isolate is just gonna be like somewhere that's seeing lands I don't want to explore, basically. I guess here. It only opens 1 other land, though. Oh, it's a bit converting to Han, isn't it? So this is going to be wetlands or jungle or mountain. Maybe here? Which means if I isolate this, of course, so. I guess I could, like, push. I probably could have ended up pushing everything out of here somehow if I wanted to, but I honestly don't think it's a big deal, so. This land could get a Dawn conversion. I don't think I can do anything about it right now. Wondering if there's anything I could do by like pushing half of the beasts or a Han somewhere. I'm sure I could have done some sort of clever combo. I'm just gonna push and explore out of here. I don't feel up to a clever combo anymore. We're cascading, so it's asking me to order. Jungle. So we don't get a conversion. Good. Alan's still healthy. Everything's great. Means we can terrifying chase out of a jungle. We're still not building any cities, so everything is good. We want to blow this up, right? Do we care if Dahan are around? I don't think so. Let's see how many we can get. I think we can kill everything. So let's put you in there. You in there. If I get Thunder Speaker out of here, I have Gather 3, right? And I have Voice of Thunder. Well, this rounds up too. So if I do this, try this. Hi. And messages? Okay, check. One sec. What? Oh, you said coming home. So, right? Okay. All right. How many Dahan can we get in here? That's the question. Probably more than we know. Let's bring these three guys. So we have 2 presents and 5 Dahan. That's 10 damage and 11. No, 13 health of invaders. No, 11 health of invaders. Just thinking of bringing more. I also believe the Fierce Assault and nowhere else to use it, so let's do that there. So let's stop this build too then. Or I could chase these guys out, but they're not doing anything. Oh, but then yeah, yeah, it's not gonna destroy more towns. Alright, lead the Furious. We could do Ways of Shore in Heartland. Is there another place that Ways of Shore in Heartland does something? Yeah, let's send this guy too. Oh, it only pushes. But that's okay. We can push. And presents? No, I like to be in the jungle. Alright, now we blow it up. Alright, the sands are totally empty of invaders. And we can add a beast somewhere. What if these 2 lands are adjacent? Add a beast there. Alright. So we've got things pretty much under control. We could even lure this guy. I think we're gonna do that. Let's blow up this jungle. Am I happy with those cards? I am. Let's not get a reclaim one yet. And if I get a free card, well, actually, it doesn't have to be free. Also, got Quicken Their Struggles again, which is going to be pretty good here. So, let's grab it. Cool. I think we're winning. I don't know what you think, but... And I'd rather you not reclaim if you don't have to. We could gain a power card then. Now time for Elemental Boom. Let's get into this foolishness. Push 1 town city from one of your lands. Maybe. Can start pulling stuff out of there. We're just gonna make this be an explodey land, I think. I would love for you to reclaim one. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna reclaim one and have 3 energy and manifest in a shocking display of violence. ways is fun. I don't think I'm gonna play. Well, yeah, I need cheap cards here, right? Put presents. The Dahan I'm probably gonna move. Center Fire. I think it's done. And we're going to reclaim a card. We're gonna play it with the other free card we found. That was the only card. But it has animal, which is actually important. All right. So we're gonna move everything into here and blow it up. That's the plan. And so let's push. Oh, I need to undo this. First, we need to open. And there and there. And then we want to put. Hello. Okay. All right. I want you to come in there. East. Come in here. We even have ranging hunt, which I didn't really, plan on or anything, but it is happening. I want you bring stuff from here. I can move more presents. I mean, yeah. And leave the invader. Oh, I can bring this invader? Hilarious. Just like that card is so... It's so situational, but also so strong. So now they're not building at all. Building in 0 lands. No blight. I didn't even... Like, the sands are just totally empty, and the jungles are empty except for one. Also, Elemental Boon I didn't use yet. Probably for you to bring more stuff. You could do more damage. But if we choose Sun, Earth, Fire? Yeah. Or Water, but... That unlocks this. Now I get to push up to 1. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to send everything from here. I should have done this first because I would get more half. Join the party. Can we make them go small? I think likely because... who wants energy? Probably Sharp Fangs. I could bring more beasts, but this way I could bring more presents. Presents is a bigger multiplier, right? Oh, it has to be within range 2, but we can make that happen. Get to move the presence like bonus. We get to move like all the Dahan and also all the presents. Look at this Tower of Power. That's 36 damage. And we're gonna isolate maybe this. I guess we have Dahan conversion risk still on wetland and mountain. Not here, but here. Yeah, let's close the ways here. And we're going to bring some more beasts from here. Leave the beast there. One fear per board with both invaders and Dahan. Explore wetlands, so they convert to Dahan. That's it for the explore, though. Okay. Is there somewhere with a town for non-root biters to push? Fortunately, there's not. I should have killed explorers with the other thing. I feel like it doesn't matter. Manifestation just kills everything. Is there any way to get any more guys in here? I don't think so. No more pushes that can actually push things we want inside, so. Murder. The ritual is complete. But we still have a few buildings. Can we... Can do 2 damage here. Just wondering if we can get into somewhere. We can get into here. We can't... Maybe, yeah, we can actually get into here with... Is there anywhere? Yeah, we can send Dahan through here. No, that doesn't work, does it? I need to get them into there. I don't think I can get Dahan into this land effectively. Sadly. So let's do this. I guess 9 root biters only really works there. Why is... Oh, this is Thunder Speaker using it. So 9 root biters can work here. Maybe we put this town here because we can defend. Use the Dahan to kill that. Gather 2. Yeah, I unfortunately can't get 3 Dahan. Well, maybe we can. Hang on. If this gather up to 3 gathers first, Oh, there has to be Dahan there to start with. There has to be Dahan there to begin with. It doesn't work. Underwhelming version of that. And this doesn't really do anything. Yeah, this power is not actually supposed to be target land Dahan. It was like a mistake in the core game, but it was left in. It hasn't been errated. Let's just do this so we don't have to defend. And fill a town. And we just try to sling a major power in here to kill the last city. Like literally there's one city, there's no more towns anywhere, so we can get 3 fast damage. Like that is 1 damage. Blocking red talons is another damage. Do this and get energy. All right. Don't have a sacred site there now. You can probably help. Okay, I can get a major power though, really. These are all slow. I want to kill that guy. I guess we can move him in here and defend it, right? That's what we do. This. And this. And sure. Grab a major power too. Maybe we get something faster. Nope. We have Nature Incarnate powers popping up. I think Nature Incarnate got turned on because of the aspect. That's what happened. That's what happened. No bug. Bug not found. Okay, that's all we need to do, right? Oh, we could actually move him and then command beasts. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. That's great. GG. Alright. That was obviously a bit more involved than the first 4 games, but hope you enjoyed that quick play. Destroyed all of the towns and cities. That was a fun game. A lot of Finder shenanigans. Finder combined with these 2 spirits that move around with their pieces is a lot. But we were able to manage it pretty well. So That's it for Handelabra Live. I'll remind you all to keep an eye on Iran. Iran is still having the people of Iran are still being suppressed and still trying to fight back against the oppressive government. So if you don't know what's going on in Iran, do some searching around and lend your support. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.